I just got a batch of handles from a company called House Handle, and this is one of them that I'm just kind of tuning up. It just still feels lifeless and rigid and dead to use, and so I'm just tuning it up a little bit. I'm going to scrape it, but basically I'm just here to give a quick review of these handles that I got. And so this, by the way, is just my Swiss Army knife, which wasn't even sharp. It was actually super dull, and I stroked it on a steel, sharpening steel, about 6 or 8 times or something like that. As you can see, it's very effective. Scraping is an underused technique, I think. It's extremely effective and extremely handy. Let's talk about these handles. I ordered 5 different models, and they're all 28 or 30 inch. I got a 28 inch cruiser, double bit cruiser handle, a 28 inch Boys Axe handle, a full-sized double bit. So that means, what I'm saying when I mean full-size is like it's for a full-sized axe head, like a large axe head with a large axe eye. A 30 inch full-size, and whatever this is, I don't know, I don't remember. So anyway, I wanted to get a large sampling too, because you know, if I get a larger sampling, like 5 handles, then I can get an idea of what their overall quality is, and chances are if they tend to send out bad handles, I'm going to get, you know, 1 or 2 out of the batch. Turns out 3 of these are total rejects. Now this company has fairly inexpensive handles, so I expect them to be a little rough, which they are. The finish is rough. And that's fine, because I can change that and I can reshape them. It's fine if it's kind of like a handle kit or something, but 3 of these are really warped beyond saving, and that's not okay. So they also have this option on the website where you can click and select like a select grade, or a hand picked, I think they called it, I can't remember. But I presumed that that meant that they would go through and pick the best handles and send you those. Well, they sent me 3, you know, rejects out of 5. So that's an extra $2 each. So 2 times 5 is an extra 10 bucks. That was total waste. Okay, the best of the lot was this cruiser axe handle. It was straight. It was way too thick, but the density feels okay. And there was plenty to work with. And I didn't have to, you know, recarve it around any kind of warping because it was straight. But the eye, I think that they mill the eye portion after the rest of the handles turn probably, but it was crooked. You know, it wasn't lined up with the oval of the handle, and that's really important. Of course, you want, you know, this oval kind of guides where you're chopping, so you really need the axe bit in line with that. And it was not, it was off to the side. So I had to take, you know, wood off here and wood off here to kind of like readjust the oval to the right point. Again, since there was plenty of wood to work with, that was okay. My only other complaint about this handle is it'd be really nice if it had a bigger swell right here, but you know, it's workable. Not too much to complain about on that one, really. I mean, I'd never send that back or anything. The 28 inch Boys Axe handle is workable. It's a little bit warped, and the end here is kind of wonky. It's also oddly huge and fat. I don't really understand that. But again, for a cheap handle, I don't really mind reshaping it. The density on this one, it feels okay, I guess. It kind of feels a little light to me. It's a pretty slim and light handle for as they go these days, so I don't really have too many complaints about it. And I think it's workable. Again, if I had only gotten these 2, I'd probably be like, well, maybe I might order from them again, and I'd definitely just keep them and work with them. As it is, I'm still deciding whether I want to keep this one or send it back. This one is warped like this. Not even, you know, safe to use. That's really, you know, it's just not acceptable. It's not straight. That's the select grade for you there. Hand picked. For what? I mean, what do the rest of them look like? So even if they accidentally didn't send me hand picked handles, literally, I mean, this is just, it's like a symbolic handle. I mean, you shouldn't be using this stuff. Like this one, it goes straight, and then down here the whole handle curves off to the side like that. And you could maybe recarve this whole end to maybe squeeze out a useful handle. Also down here, like the oval, it isn't oval. It's sloped off like this, so this side has to be shaved off to bring this back to like an even oval, because that's important, right? It's like this is all twisted and uneven, and you're chopping and you're swinging, and this is kind of what guides you. So you have to, now I'm having to hold this funny and compensate to hit the thing. It just doesn't work. Anyway, I shouldn't have to, you know, even explain that. It's, you know, it's not straight, it's not even. This one, same thing on the end. I don't know if you can tell how strangely shaped this butt is, and it's also been ground out here with like a belt grinder or something. Now they also have an option to remove the varnish, and I thought I ordered maybe like 1 or 2 with no varnish just to see what the difference was, because again, it's kind of a review item, but they all came with no varnish, and it looks like what they did is they took a handle with varnish and then sanded it off. I think, I don't really know, but it looks like it's been sanded in this direction all the way up and down, and it looks like this was gouged out with like a belt grinder or a belt sander or something, because especially on this piece, because this is super light. I mean, if I blindfolded you and handed you this, you would never guess it was hickory. It's just really light and pithy. I can't imagine this holding up very well as an axe handle. So that's another problem with this one. So 3 of these are definitely going back, presuming that they'll take them back. Hopefully they won't try to make me pay shipping or anything. And I'm pretty puzzled how these people stay in business, why they're still in business selling handles that don't work right out of the box. Like these were selected, you know, a week or 2 ago by a person and put in a box and shipped. Seriously, this is the hand selected grade? And again, even if it's not, like, what excuse is there for making something and calling it a handle when it doesn't actually, you know, able to perform its function? I could fix this by steaming it and bending it. I've done that. I do it quite a bit. I've done it with at least 3 in the last 2 years. But obviously I shouldn't have to buy a handle and then have to actually steam it and, you know, really reshape it a lot, especially if I'm buying like a select grade. If I got something that I would consider a usable blank for the $8 to $10 that they charge, which is fairly cheap, I think, and you know, that would be fine with me. I could live with that. But you know, when I get something that I really can't even work with, frankly, I'm kind of pissed that people would run a business this way and send stuff like this out. I mean, I don't know, man. Anyway, house handle, not recommended. 2 thumbs down.